We all three look at ourselves and we say,
"Oh my hello, everyone." We can wait. We can wait a minute to see if some people log on. But welcome to our webinar. We're going to be talking about marching on the DNC 2020, July 13th, 2020. You want to get started, or should we wait another minute?
Are we going to play the video?
Yeah.
No, we're going to do an intro first.
Yeah. I'll start. My name is Sherry Honkala, and I'm a part of the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. And thank you for joining our webinar tonight. I've been an organizer for like the last 30 years. I'm a formerly homeless mother, and I think it's really important that as many people as possible get involved and participate in marching on the DNC. The logistics that we're marching July 13th at opening day, and we hope that you'll join us. Next to me is...
Hi, my name is Sandra Rivera. I'm youth organizer for PPERC, and yeah, we're going to be explaining like all the logistics of marching on the DNC this coming July.
Mm-hmm. And my name's Matt Pilisher, and I'm the administrative coordinator for Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. So we're going to play for you a short promotional video to give you an idea of the DNC and the march and some of the reasons we're going to be there in July 2020. And then we'll come back on and explain to you some of the logistics.
The Poor People's Army.
In order for us to figure out how we're going to get rid of some of these different ills that have faced our communities for so many years after years.
We really believe that we're out of time.
We have to form our own army and be there to support and protect people all around the country.
We are a nonviolent army. The violence is happening to us.
You can have a voice as well if you join in and learn. If you don't have to know anything. We can teach you, but I'm sure your story will tell it all.
The planet and us as a people, we're really out of time.
Because poor people, we are rising up. We are organizing a Poor People's Army, literally, not figuratively, and we are going to reclaim our lives.
We are producing a new kingdom. We are supporting a kingdom where the last become first and the first become last.
I'm part of the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign, and if you're a youth out there who cares about poverty and injustice in this country, I suggest you meet us at the opening day of the DNC on July 13th, 2020.
And our plan is simple. One is to build organization and to teach our army whose side they're really on. Are we going to build an army that protects human needs versus corporate greed, or are we not?
The scripture tells us that Christ rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, not on a steed or a stallion, showing the contrast of the kingdom that he was about to establish. In addition to that, he also made a pit stop in the temple. And he turned over the tables of the money changers who were exacting money from the very people that didn't have money, that they were merchandising in the house of worship, making it a place of business. As we approach this 2020 convention in Milwaukee, July 13th, we're asking the faith community to step outside of the temple, step away from the glare of the bright lights, the celebrities, the stars, the big name politicians. Get involved with those that are hurting, those that are hungry, those that are incarcerated.
We don't see billionaires and corporations, letting us live because they've been so busy letting us die.
We're trying to figure out how to create a life for everyone to have a good, decent life. Not just barely survive, but we want people to be able to thrive, and reach the highest plateau that they want to reach.
We have to get organized to take back the basic necessities of life. So that means reclaiming land, reclaiming housing, reclaiming food, reclaiming all of the things that have been stolen from us.
We, as the Poor People's Army, are going to be in Milwaukee in 2020, July 13th, opening day of the DNC.
And so I want to encourage all of you to come out and be with us on opening day of the Democratic National Convention to ensure that we hear from as many voices as possible. I want you to give money directly to a poor people's movement that's led by the poor themselves, and a poor people's army that's dedicated to the liberation of our people that are struggling to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves.
And with your help, we can bring in numbers because there's strength in numbers.
So that we can fight to ensure that we still have a planet, that we still have the next 7 generations to come.
There's abundance of money. We all can have some of it and live a better life and make this world a better place. This is God's world. It's our world.
Okay. Sherry, you want to pick up with why it's important?
Again, we just want to thank people for joining us tonight. We are, I don't know why we have sound going
music.
on.
One of my songs.
Oh, there we go. We've got Matt singing.
Okay, go ahead.
They can't see us?
They can see us.
Oh, they can't?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a little background music there from Matt. And speaking of music, you'll hear more about the committees in a few minutes. But people should just know we're organizing on opening day of the Democratic National Convention, but we'll also be organizing and participating on opening day of the Republican National Convention. And we are actually also going to be organizing a march and a caravan at the conclusion of the Democratic National Convention to the Republican National Convention. So in terms of why we're marching, I think we pretty much just spelled it out there in the film. If anybody had an opportunity to watch the impeachment process today, I think people can pretty much unite around the fact that we're really in trouble as a country, and not just us. People across the entire world are in trouble. So we think that, basically corporations and billionaires and war are the priorities. And we want to switch that thing around. So we are organizing this Poor People's Army, and we're going to be going to Milwaukee, and we are going to ask that they end the war budget and that they bring our 67 cents out of every tax dollar back home. Because we know that people can't feed, clothe, or house themselves. If anybody's been watching what we've been dealing with lately, our youth don't have opportunities. The shootings that are taking place, the shootings that took place today in California, our hearts go out to all of those families. And let's take those tears and let's turn them into rage. And let's get organized. Let's take inspiration from the young people in Chile and all different parts of the world. And let me turn that over to Sandra Rivera Colon, who is our youth organizer, to say a few things.
Well, why should youth get involved? I think because, voting is a way to at least have the ability to determine how we want our future to look like. That being said, we want a more eco-friendly world. We want people to have the same resources that are available to those who hoard them. So I feel like if you're a youth who is living in poverty and doesn't have the access to resource and or wanting to find purpose in life, I think that this is a really good protest, and this is something that would speak volumes for generations to come. So yeah.
So we wanted to also share with you how people can get involved, and we're an organization that works nationally. We're coming to you from our office here in Philadelphia, but we have people on the ground all over the country and all over the world. And this is also, we're going to have international guests at the DNC in July 2020. So we have a website that we want to share with you, and it's right here. I'm going to show it. And it's Rise Up and Resist DNC 2020.com. You can also find it through our website, economichumanrights.org, but it's Rise Up and Resist DNC 2020. And we're going to populate this with a lot of important information, and it gives some of the basic sort of why we're going there, how to get involved, and contact information. I want to also give you an email to get involved, and that goes to us, Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. It's ppehrc.org@gmail.com, and I can put that in the notes in the chat, and we'll have a section for people to chat in and ask questions at the end as well. We also have committees that are organizing, and we have point people for each of those committees. So if you want to get involved around any of these, there's food, there's transportation, lodging, fundraising, materials, arts and culture. And we have one of our arts and culture main people, Bruce Wright, on the call now.
And it looks like Angel too.
And
just did our fundraiser.
That's great. Hello. So a lot of people that are great artists and are organizing a lot of the musicians that are going to be playing there. Media, so working on the website, social media, online outreach, organizing committee, where we are going to have a national monthly call, and labor committee. So how do we tie in organized labor?
Said Carlos too. Hi, Carlos.
Oh, and Carlos too. So I'm going to type in the website and the email, and I thought this would be a good time to talk about some of the collaborations that we have ongoing too.
So we just want to let folks know that there's going to be a very strong cultural component, and I'm saying this because I know that Angel and Carlos and Reverend Bruce are online, but because you don't really have a movement unless you have art and culture at the center of it, and so it's incredibly important. So we'll give people information on how to get involved if you want to be on the program, to give your amazing poetry or sing your amazing music. We'll put that information up as well. But the thing that we need people to do right now across the entire country is to think about the basics, right? How can you get there? how can you convince people around that you are so amazing and your 5 or 6 friends, that they will help you raise money for gas. I don't care if it's chicken dinners, if it's, holding a fundraiser, doing whatever. But we have to think about, like, how do we get the gas? Who's actually going to commit to, like, being there? We'll have an encampment that we're going to set up. And, we don't have money to stay at, like, the Sheraton Ritz or whatever. So, but we'll also have other choices, like other churches and other kinds of lodging for people to stay at. But you want to think about how are they going to get there, and arrange even a bus, especially if you're in any of the surrounding states to Milwaukee. Arrange a bus, get in a competition, see if you can bring 2 or 3 or 4 buses. And we'd also like you to try and raise some money. Like, we are so grateful that Carlos and Angel helped do the other night, so that we can have some resources for the immense amount of things that we're going to need things for, like materials and mailings and all of those kinds of things. And so also we want you to designate, from wherever in the country you're from, at least one person that can be on monthly calls so that we can inform each other what's happening in the various different local areas. And then we want you to promote the march. We have an amazing artist that has put together an amazing poster. It's going to be so exciting. We can't show it yet because it's not completely finished, but trust me, you'll love it. And then we're going to have to figure out, how do we get this poster out across the entire country? So everybody has to take responsibility for, pumping it on social media and all that stuff. And lastly, we're really, really excited because we're in the beginning stages of having a conversation around collaborating with other folks that were planning marches in Milwaukee, about merging together and working together. So that's at a planning stage right now, and I won't say out loud who they are so that the crazy people out there can't destroy it. But so we're really excited to have all sections of the population come together and take inspiration from our brothers and sisters all over the world that are taking this world back and making it the kind of world that all of us want to live in and be a part of. So lastly, send us your endorsement from whatever band, church, mosque, whatever group you're a part of. Send us your endorsement. We're going to get busy trying to raise money so that we can produce as many T-shirts as possible, because we want this country to know, and people around the world, that the Poor People's Army is getting serious about taking our country back. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
We will be in touch with you soon through the websites, and follow us on social media. Look for PPERC on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, I like that picture.
I did too.